Because the commercial banks mainly encourage public to save. How will they encourage the public to save? I think we had in-depth discussion last class. How will they encourage public to save the money?
So they give
By
interest.
increasing the interest rate.
By giving interest rate, they say, I'll pay you the interest. Okay. Then what else?
The safe custody of money.
Yeah, your money will be safe. No robbers will come and do the theft. The money what you're keeping with me, it will be safe and I'll pay you interest. Okay. And next one, they mobilize savings. Why do they mobilize savings? For the purpose of investment in different sector. See, we have different sector, they require money. How will the money come from? From the savings. Now, who is channelizing that? It is channelized by the bank. The bank major role is channelizing the savings. Is my audio clear, students?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
it's clear.
Able to hear me? If not,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Please let me know if you're not able to hear. Yeah. Okay. And they are mainly into coordinating they'll help the companies to form the capital. How will they get the capital? You can see there. Okay. Not only the primary issues or the market money issues, even the capital is formed by bank loan. The bank helps the companies to form their capital. You can see there, majority of the companies, they have debt capital or borrowed capital from bank. Okay, this will help them to form the capital, and they create the credit. So they give credit by those who want the money. So this money, whatever they are giving as credit, if they utilize it properly in a productive use, so that will promote the economic growth. How will the economic grow? Mainly by utilizing the credit what is given by the bank in a very productive manner. But many of the companies, what they do is they will not utilize properly, and that is why the economy is not contributed. Economy is not growing. You can see a lot of NPAs, non-performing assets, because they are not using properly and they are not able to earn the income on that. And ultimately, what happened? They don't repay to the bank, and bank suffers. Okay, that is why a bank is suffering because of NPAs, because they are not using properly. Are you getting it, students? Any doubt till now? Students, any
No,
doubt?
sir.
No,
Yeah.
sir.
So bank actually, they mainly assistance in foreign trade also. Those who want to do foreign trade, import or export, the banks are there to help you. And they also provide essential financial infrastructure and fund for backward regions. They don't only work in the cities. Okay, banks not only work in the cities, they also work in districts and rural areas. Okay, suburban areas, they work there, and they provide the financial infrastructure. Okay, and they provide even for the agriculture also. Banks, they provide for agriculture sector. Agriculture sector in India is actually called as what? Primary sector. Why it is called primary sector? Anybody knows?
So no manufacturing will take place in that particular sector.
Okay, why it is primary? Anybody? Why bank agriculture sector is called primary sector in India? It is given more importance.
Because India is basically an agricultural economy initially, that's why.
Why only Nandish is
And
answer?
later,
Because it is the backbone of the Indian economy.
Okay.
70% of the income comes from
Only
agriculture.
Deepak, Subhashri, Nandish answering. What about others? What others are doing? Kindly answer, no? Disha, Jyotika, Dikshit,
Yes, sir.
Vinay. Please answer. I am asking a very general question. Please reply. Please answer. No, others, please answer. Don't be mum. Don't be your spectator. Madhumita,
Yes, sir.
yeah, please answer. Valorine,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this one, what you people are doing?
I'm here, sir.
See, it is a theory class, but it's not a monologue. Please take it from me. You have to be attentive, or else I'll make it absent. See, when I'm asking somebody's name, if you're not answering, I'll give you a few seconds. If you don't answer, I'll mark it as absent, even though you are there in the class 60 minutes. Please answer. Why agriculture sector is called primary sector in India?
Because it makes a base for all other activities,
Okay.
the main primary activity. That's
They exploit the natural resources to production. They don't have any raw materials as like manufacturing. They use the natural resources.
Yeah. Primary sector because they are very, very important. See, you can live without industry, but you cannot live without agriculture, right? You need food. So food comes from where? Agriculture only. You can live without mobile, but you cannot live without food. Can you exist? So agriculture is very important. That gives you the food for your stomach. Without the food, you cannot survive. Okay, and they are the one. They don't have more capital. They require your help. They require the bank's help. Okay, that is why the government and the banks they focus on agriculture. They need more finance. Okay,
Yes, sir. They consider agriculture as priority sector while financing the loans.
majority of them they depend on the monsoon. If monsoon
Farming.
is not there, they are gone. They cannot produce without the water, without the monsoon. So they require more. They are more vulnerable. Okay, they require more support from the government and the banks. Okay, so please read about that. Why are they called as primary sector? Okay, and these banks extend the help for all of them, and they actually make the market also growth. I'm reading 8th point. So banks help the in extending the size of the bank, sorry, size of the market by producing the giving credit, by giving the payment facilities. Okay, so for all this they are helping so that the market is increasing. You can see the market is increasing day by day. Nowadays we have even virtual market. Earlier, we only had physical market where you go, okay, you go to Care Market, you have a market there, or you go to Majestic area. But now, even wherever you're sitting, market is there in your home only. You can do online shopping. So, who is helping the online shopping? Payment facility, who is giving? Bank is giving.
Fine.
Understood? That is why, because you have online banking or you have payment banking, you are able to do online transactions. So commercial banks are behind all this. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Not only the companies or agriculture, they also support the government also. They are behind all the government regulations and the government objectives. Okay, they are always there with the government schemes. Whatever the scheme is launched by the government, the bank is always there. And bank also finance also the government. It is not government is always fully financed. It also depends on the banking sector. Okay, they also borrow money from banks. So banks are helping even the government to help them to reach their planned economic development. Okay, so any point is not clear, students? Anything you wanted to ask? Please talk. Don't make me to ask questions. Okay, let me ask you a question whether you are reading paper or not. I think this IMA scam, it became old. You already know that what happened. Recently, very recently, just last week, there's one bank which is giving for only for women, they're giving 7% interest. Which is that bank? Women, 7% they're giving. They recently uh, stated in newspaper 16.
HDFC.
Pardon?
HDFC.
No. Anybody?
Sir, Equitas.
Our class. Yeah, what's that?
Small banks. No?
Equitas.
Who said?
Equitas, sir, Samuel.
Equitas.
Very good. Okay. So Equitas Bank, which is said that for women, they want to encourage women okay, and women entrepreneurship, they are giving for SB account, saving account 7%. No other banks will give for SB account, right? Earlier they were giving and now they are in the difficulty. Who is this bank? Yes Bank. They were giving, but now they are in difficulty. They said they'll give 6%. Okay, but this bank, Equitas Bank, is what is a bank? What type of bank is that? They are called small savings bank. Equitas Bank is a small savings bank. They are told they'll give 7%. Okay, please read. Okay, these questions I'm asking so that it will not challenge you to read newspaper. And last class I asked how many of you want to do make a career in banking. Many of you said yes. If you want to do a banking career, you need to update all this. You need to say all this thing in your interviews. Then only your interviewer will be very pleased with you. Okay, so please keep it in mind. And just came a few days back. What is this news? 20th of November, the RBI working committee, they have recommended the NBFCs can become a bank. They can become a full-fledged commercial bank. So how much is the requirement? They need to have capital.
50,000 crores.
What I am requesting, actually, this Tamil Nadu, Madurai, Tamil Nadu is one
Who is
state.
that? Somebody is talking.
Can you get?
Yeah, please do. If you have any background noise, please don't talk much. Yeah. So what are they saying? The committee they have formed, and the committee has given recommendation for RBI that those who have 50,000 crores, they can become full-fledged bank. They are actually called as now NBFCs. They are non-banking. They cannot take the deposits, and they should have completed 10 years of operation. Can you say which are those NBFCs who are eligible for this? Anyone?
So Tata, Mahindra, and all.
Tata, Mahindra. What is the name? Tata name? What is the Tata NBFC name? Anybody?
Tata Capital.
Tata Capital. Okay. Anybody else? Which are those NBFCs which are eligible to become banks? Yeah. Teresa? Teresa, can you guess?
No idea, sir.
Jofin? Jofin?
Yes, sir.
You there?
Yes, I'm there, sir.
Yeah, please tell me. Which are those NBFCs? Can you name some NBFCs? Non-bank
Sir,
corporation.
sir, I have to check, sir.
What to read, man? In Shruti?
Yes, sir.
Please guess which are those NBFCs. You would have seen this many times when you go on the road. You see so many NBFCs on the road.
The Muthoot Finance.
Muthoot Finance, okay.
Kotak Bank, sir.
Kotak Bank is the bank.
Bajaj Finance.
Already there, yeah, Bajaj Finance.
Sriram
L&T
Transport
Infrastructure
Corporation
Finance.
Finance Limited, I think so.
Yeah, Sriram. Okay. So many are there. I can show you here. Okay, there are so many banks which are there. You can see there. One of the major one is Power Finance Corporation. They have $6.63 trillion, trillion rupees. Okay, they are more eligible. Then we have REC. Then Bajaj Finance. What is REC? Then Shriram Transport Finance Company, L&T, India Bulls, M&M Financial Services, Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Capital, okay, Aditya Birla, Cholamandalam Finance Holding, Muthoot Finance. So all these will be now competing. They will come forward now and they will compete, and they're just waiting for the standing of operating procedures. Once the bank disclose, all these will become banks. Okay, so I'm saying all this now for you mainly to create the interest in bank. If you want to make a career, you need to read. Please read, okay? Next time onwards, what I do is every class, I'll give 5 minutes time for you people to share, okay? Can we do it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I'll allocate everyone every day, every class. I'll just call out your name. You want me to call out your name or you'll do it voluntarily? We can discuss about emerging happening in banking.
Discuss about what?
Voluntarily.
The latest news in banking in that particular month or a week we can discuss.
Oh, yes, sir. Please, we can do that.
Okay, sir.
So I'll allocate each one student. Each student should tell the at least for 5 minutes or maybe not 5 minutes, at least 1 or 2 important news updates regarding banking industry, what's happening.
Okay.
Help others also to prepare for the interviews and prepare for your career in banking. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do it? Yeah. Next class, who will do it?
I'll do it, sir. Deepak.
Yeah, Deepak will do next class, okay? You can see the timetable and start preparing from today. Just 1 or 2 important news you can just share, okay?
The Lakshmi Vilas Bank can be discussed. The thing what happened recently.
Yeah, Lakshmi Vilas Bank is happening now. We can take it as a case study. We will do one day, okay?
It was kept under moratorium now. Even previously, as bank also one more issue happened. So same thing.
Yeah, so a lot of things are happening now. So each one can take one day time. Like now, Deepak has came voluntarily. So Deepak will do next class. Remaining students can let me know who want to do it. See, I don't want to force anyone. It is not for giving marks or anything. It is mainly for learning, mutual learning. You also will learn. You yourself will prepare for your interviews. Clear? Shall we go back now to the classes? Yeah. So we will see, my main focus will be like theory you can read. It is there in LMS. Okay, PPT also will share you. But I want you to be very updated. That is very, very important. You cannot tell the old story when you sit for the interviews. Clear? But you should know the theory. That's why LMS is there. You can read in LMS. I'll also discuss important point. I will not go in depth. Okay, because I don't want to waste my time in giving you the theory. Anyways, I'll teach you the important basic points. Okay, remaining you can read in LMS. Okay, so you can see the classification of banks. It's very, very important. You should know what are the different types of banks which are operating in India. Okay, so major we have scheduled and non-scheduled banks. Then we have SBI and its associates. Now many of associates got merged together now. And then urban cooperative banks and state cooperative banks. Okay, commercial banks. And then we have old generation private banks and new generation private banks. Anybody knows what do you mean by old and new generation private banks?
So those banks which got license after 1991 is new generation.
Okay, yeah, after the privatization.
Yes, sir.
What is old one, new generation? Any example?
So ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank.
Yeah. And old generation, any example? Not Deepak, anybody else? Deepak, don't answer. Old generation private banks.
Dhanlaxmi Bank, City Union Bank.
Yeah. Okay. So then we have foreign banks. I think you already know foreign banks. Then regional rural banks, we have a different type of bank. It's called regional rural bank. They are mainly focused on rural areas. And then we have private sector bank. You already know ICICI, HDFC. Then we have public sector bank. Which are public sector banks? Can you give example? Or what do you mean by public sector bank? Public
SBI. Sir, public sector bank owned by government.
Yeah.
Canara Bank, sir. Canara Union Bank.
Nationalized banks.
So SBI Bank, Nationalized Bank.
The bank. Okay, I think one of the case study regarding nationalized bank. We will have presentation one day. Please read it in LMS. It is there. Okay. Then we have payment banks. This is a recent happened. Payment bank which will only facilitate your payments. Okay. Then we have small banks. Then Bharatiya Mahila Bank recently got merged with BI. And then India Post Payment Bank. Okay, which is the one which has been licensed by RBI now. India Post Payment Bank. Then we have local area banks. They are the private sector commercial banks. Okay. So these are different classifications. Yeah, as I just now told, old private sector bank. These are the old private sector bank, which were actually present in the before privatization, but they were not nationalized because they were very small in size and many other regions, and they are very small in size. They were not nationalized like SBI and all. They got nationalized, right? Corporation Bank, they all got nationalized, but they were the very old banks. They were not nationalized. You can see even our South Indian Bank, which we have in our own campus in Presidency College, is also old private sector bank. Okay, but it was not nationalized, but they were permitted to continue even after privatization after 1983, where they were still continuing, like Catholic Syrian Bank, City Union Bank, Dhanlaxmi Bank, Federal Bank, okay, Jammu Kashmir Bank, Karnataka Bank, all these you can see the list. Nainital, Ratnakar Bank, okay, Tamil Nadu Merchant Bank. These are called old private banks. And then new private banks, as you all know, Axis Bank, okay, DCB Bank, HDFC, ICICI, IndusLand, Kotak Mahindra, S Bank, IDFC, Bandhan Bank of, they are actually started by Bandhan Financial Services. Clear, students? You should know all these things, okay? Please read, okay? Everything is there in LMS. Please read, okay? Anytime anybody is asking, you should be able to tell. Clear? Any doubt till now? Jofin, any doubt?
No, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you go on the road now, if you see any bank, you should classify whether they are old bank or new bank.
Yes, sir.
You do it.
Yes, sir.
Then bank, you can see the chart you have given here, the flow. So scheduled bank and non-scheduled bank. Any doubt? Anybody knows what do you mean by scheduled and non-scheduled bank?
So any bank which is mentioned in the Schedule 2 of the Reserve Bank Banking Regulation Act is not a scheduled bank.
Yeah. So scheduled banks are those banks which are which is being regulated by the RBI. Non-scheduled bank also regulated, but these non-scheduled banks will not. They cannot borrow from RBI. Okay, they cannot borrow from RBI, but scheduled banks can borrow from RBI. They have to follow all the rules and regulations of RBI. Okay, but non-scheduled banks are also regulated from the RBI. They control them. They also present their financial statement. They have to present to RBI, but they cannot borrow from RBI. Got it? Then we have a major classification as commercial and cooperative banks. Under commercial banks, we have public sector banks, like some are nationalized banks, some are comes under RBI, SBI, and associate banks. Then Bhartiya Mahila Bank, they got merged with SBI, and then India Post Payment Banks. And then we have RRBs, regional rural banks. Then we have local area banks, then foreign banks. Okay, they are commercial banks. And private banks, old private banks and new generation private banks. Then we have payment banks and small banks. And then cooperative banks, we have again urban rural cooperative banks, and some of them also are regulated or owned by states also, different states in India. They're called state cooperative banks. Okay, student, the entire list, I can't tell you everything now because there are so many banks. The entire list I have put in LMS. Did anyone see that list in LMS? Did you gone through that?
Yes, sir.
Please go through it. Okay, it is there in LMS. Please read it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We answered the questions also.
Huh?
Yes, sir. We
Yes, sir.
answered the questions also, sir, in LMS. Challenging questions.
Yeah, very good. And this list today only I put it. You might have not seen that. Please see today. And all these whatever is there in LMS will come for your midterm exam and your final exam. Clear?
Okay, sir.
I may ask 2 marks question also. Give me 4 old private banks, or give me 4 payment banks, and give me 4 RRBs. All the list is there in LMS. Please read. Okay? Done?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I don't want to waste time in explaining all that. Please read. Okay. Okay. So the chronology of development of banks is very, very important. You should know this. Okay. The modern banking started in the 18th century. I think this is one of the questions we have in LMS, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Modern banking start in which year? Which
What
century?
Chetan?
Which century?
Yeah,
18th.
Chetan. Yeah, Subhash, any doubt?
No, sir. This question
Yeah.
was there in the LMS.
It is there. First question is there, challenge question.
Yes, sir. First question, sir. 18th century. Since 18th century was the answer. It's there.
Yeah. Okay. So Bank of Hindustan was established in 1770 and General Bank of India was started in 1786, failed in 1791. Then Bank of Calcutta was formed and renamed as Bank of Bengal. Then Bank of Bombay was there. Then Bank of Madras. Okay. Okay, the history is very interesting. Please read. Okay. Imperial Bank of India. Okay. What is the present name of Imperial Bank? Anybody knows?
SBI, sir.
SBI, sir.
SBI's old name, Imperial Bank. This is also one of the challenge question. Then Reserve Bank of India was established. Till then, there was
1935.
yeah, Nandesh.
1935, sir.
Yeah. Before RBI came, Imperial Bank was actually acting as the RBI. Okay, they were in the issue of currency and all that thing they were involved. This is a very, very important bank. That is why the government gives more importance to this bank. And later, 1955, it became SBI Bank. Then subsidiary of SBI Bank were started in 1960. Then nationalization of 14 private banks, and then 6 private banks were again nationalized, and then liberation and privatization took place in 1990 to 1994. Okay. Okay, so the entire history actually we can divide them into these different phases. One is pre-independence, what happened, and then post-independence, and then era of nationalization, then era of liberalization, that is 1990 onwards, and then the reset times, what you can see now. Okay, we can also even add COVID time also will come in the next year. Okay, you can see what happened in COVID time, and after COVID time also we can learn. Okay, so what is pre-independence era? That was before India got independence. The situation was clearly, it was entirely different. What I think none of us were born in that particular time. Okay, so this is the time of pre-independence era. The modern bank already started in 18th century. Bank of Hindustan was established, but it was liquidated in 1832. Okay, and the General Bank of India was started. Okay, and then it was failed again. Bank of Calcutta. Okay, it was formed by Royal Charter of East India Company. Okay, it was renamed as Bank of Bengal. Okay, and then Indian Merchant started as bank in name of Union Bank in 1839 and failed, and it was within the decade it got failed. Then Bank of India by East India Company, again Bank of Madras, again East India Company, they all started. And all three banks that were started by the East India Company, under British rule, was called as what? Presidency banks. So what is presidency banks mean? Which were started by the East India Company. Which are those three banks?
Bank of Bengal, Bank of Bombay, and Bank of Madras.
Yeah, 3 marks question in exam. Okay, please remember. Okay, and then modern banking started actually already done. Yeah, and then Chartered Bank came, and that was the first foreign bank. Please remember, first bank which came to India was Chartered Bank. That is called Standard Chartered Bank in 1853. Okay, and 1860 limited liability was introduced. Then Bank of the Upper India, and then the Joint Stock Bank of India was formed and then failed in 1913. Okay, that is the first joint stock bank. That is India, Bank of Upper India. What do you mean by joint stock bank or joint stock company? I told this in the when you are in first year. What do you mean by joint stock company or bank? Already forgot first year. You also prepared balance sheet of joint stock companies. All are there sleeping. The shareholding, they are the one which are not one single owner. They have a multiple shareholdings. They are called joint stock company. So it happened in 1863 itself, but it failed. Then Allahabad Bank was started 1865. Then HSBC came later. Okay, so first was Standard Chartered, then HSBC came in 1869. Okay, then Wood Commercial Bank 1881 was first limited liability bank that was completely managed by Indian board, was formed and it failed in 1958. And then Punjab National Bank was the oldest liability, limited liability public sector bank with a complete Indian board, and that was uh, surviving till now. Then Central Bank of India, wholly owned and managed by Indian, was formed. That was the first truly Swadeshi bank, Central Bank of India. Have you seen this bank? Central Bank of India, still it is there. Then later on, many banks were formed in India, including Bank of India, Corporation Bank, Indian Bank, Bank of Baroda, and Canara Bank. Okay, and between 1913 and 18, many banks got closed due to economic crisis after the World War One. Okay, World War One happened in the pre-independence time. Okay, and 1921, all three presidency banks were amalgamated, and that became Imperial Bank. Clear now? All those banks which were started by East India Company, okay, they became merged together, and that become what? Imperial Bank. Clear? Is it clear, students? Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Please remember this Imperial Bank, how they were formed by merging the three presidency banks. And apart from that, progressing the normal banking operations, it also performed some of the functions of central bank, because it was owned by the East India Bank, East India Company, which was by the government. That's why they were believing it more, and they were allowed them to function as a central bank. And 1924, the first branch of Imperial Bank of India was opened in Mumbai. An Indian by the name Sri Badridas Goneka was appointed as its chairman, 1933. And 1934, RBI Act was enacted. And April 1st, 1935, the RBI was formed at Calcutta. Okay, present headquarters is in Mumbai. Earlier it was in Calcutta, but when they started, but now it is in Mumbai. Initially owned entirely by private shareholders and was nationalized in 1949. Okay, even RBI was earlier what? It was a private bank. Now it is owned by government. Okay, so the summary, what all we discussed in the pre-independence is what you can see there. You may have seen, right? I was reading, they opened, but again it failed. Opened, many failed. So many banks were formed, many were able to not continue, so many were closed and not regulated earlier because RBI was not there. And currency issue was done by the Imperial Bank of India, and then later on took over by Government of India. The objective of banks were likely to be typically business to make profit. They were not catering to the general public or for agriculture or for the the small businesses. They were neglecting actually, and the banks operated such a way that they supported big corporates and business with credit. They were ready to give only a credit to the big corporates or big businessmen, not for the individuals or not for the small businesses. Okay, forget about agriculture. Agriculture was not at all supported by banks earlier, and the credit facilities poorly reached the rural, agri, and small businesses and etc. This is what we can see in the pre-independence era. Anybody want to add anything? Student, understood? I'm going going very fast because it is all self-explanatory. Anybody want to add anything? Hello, all are sleeping again. Guys,
No, sir.
No, sir.
understood pre-independence era?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please read, any doubt will come, please let me know, okay? But you need to know all these important milestones in the banking industry. And post-independence, after 1947, what happened, you can see there, the government took over the nationalization of RBI in 1st January 1949. And 1949, the Banking Regulation Act was enacted. Okay, that is a very, very important act. Okay, all the banks are being regulated by this particular regulation. It's called the Banking Regulation Act 1949. And the Banking Regulation Act also provided that no new bank or branch of an existing bank could be opened without a license from the RBI. Till now it is there. Till now anybody want to start a new bank, they have to get the license from RBI. And what about the branch? Anybody knows? Do they have to take a license from bank or RBI to start a branch? Yes or no, student?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They need permission.
Bank it is yes. For branch I'm asking.
No, even for branch, they need permission.
Yeah. Actually permission they can take, but license is not required. They can start a branch. If they have capability, they can start a branch, but license is not required. Okay, so they are removed it. And RBI took 60% stake in Imperial Bank of India in 1955. That was sold to GOI in 2008. And to ensure better coverage of banking needs of larger part of your economy and the rural constituencies, the government of India nationalized the Imperial Bank of India and transformed it into State Bank of India with effect from 1st July 1955. Okay, so the government was more concerned about rural areas and the agriculture, so that is why they nationalized the Imperial Bank, that is the present SBI. So what actually happened in pre-independence? You can see there, tremendous need to develop the nation was there because India was underdeveloped. Okay, and India needed a lot of finance because East India Company went off and the British rule was not there, and India wanted more finance to develop the economy. Okay, if your Indian economy was not at all noticed earlier. Okay, nowadays we have noticed, but earlier nobody was caring India. They were thinking poor country. Very difficult it was actually after the independence. Okay, so the banks played a major role. Okay, so RBI in 1935, you can see there it was formed and RBI Act came into forward. Huge credit was required to accelerate the development in India. Still, there was a huge sector and a population of the country that remained unbanked. Okay, even after independence, many were not having bank account. You can even ask your grandfathers or grandmothers who are there in rural area. They didn't have any banking facility. They didn't have bank account. Now only we can see everybody is having bank account. Okay, and the first 5 years plan had a vision to develop the economy, and that needed to be supported by the banking sector role in the form of credit reach. Okay, so that is why the first 5 year plan also they were focusing on developing the economy through banking sector, because banking sector should give the credit, then only the India can develop. And developing a trust in the minds of people on banking system was a great challenge. Okay, because people were not believing banks and they were not ready to deposit the money in the bank. Okay, I'll tell you the reason also, because earlier there were a lot of private banks, people who were giving lending money and they were harassing the people. They were harassing and they were charging double, triple. Okay, the interest was usually very high interest they have to pay. That is why they were not ready to open a bank account. Okay, these are the main challenges what the banking sector had earlier. Okay, now it is totally changed. Now we'll start. Now we'll stop it now before we go to the nationalization of bank. Any doubt, students, till now? Anything you want to ask?
No, sir.
No? Now I think we'll, people who are, those who have not done the pre-test, I want to give now. I'll just post it now in the chat box. Those who are not done, you can access in the chat box, and now you can complete it. All are there. No, I think still too many students are not there. This is only for the test, only for those who are not done till now. If you are already done, please don't take it up. Okay, I'll give 5 minutes time. You people can complete it. Those are not done. So now time is 1:06. Okay, 1:11 I'll stop. Are you able to see? Yeah, are you able to see now, students? The link is there in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, those are not done, please take it up quickly. I'll give 5 minutes time. This exam is very, very important, okay? 5 minutes time I'll give. Are you doing it?
So those who have done, no need to do it
Yeah,
again.
those are done, don't do it. It is only for those who are not done. Those are done, please don't do it. Only for those who are not done last class. Asking permission, please use your official email ID. You should log into your official email ID.
Sir, it's showing no longer response will be.
No, now I enabled. Now only enabled. Just now you try again. Try again, Mark. Just now I enabled it.
Okay, sir.
Now try to download this thing. You try to.
Okay, sir.
Got it?
I've already done, sir.
Yeah.
Once I checked that.
Yeah, do it fast. Yeah, 3 more minutes. Do it fast. Three minutes more. Complete fast.